Right, so let's write our goal down. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being awesome. All amazing. We are on Thursday morning, 11/11/2021 for me from Cincinnati, Ohio. I hope you like all this affirmation. Now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuum. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources. Here we go. So now that you've written your goal and you're ready for decision chapter, let's see what we're doing. Decision chapter. What's going on? Who are we? What are we doing here? Oh, my name is Kamal. Welcome, everybody. I believe I know everybody here. Varsha, Aminata, Coach, Lori, Naki, May, and Morali. Well, welcome for another edition of the decision chapter. And let's see what we can do today. How we can summarize the decision chapter in 30 minutes or less. What can we do about decisions? The mastery of procrastination. Who would like to speak? Who would like to share what's on your mind when it comes to decisions? What have you decided since yesterday? See, I believe the decision chapter is one of the most important topic in this book. It's also one of the most prominent topics that Bob Proctor talks about all the time. But so today I'm going to do like a quick summary on it and share with you what I think of it. And then we'll let Elliot speak, and then Lori, and then Coach, then Aminata, then Varsha, then Nike, then May, then Dr. Lee, and every one of you. You can all share today. So in the decision chapter with Napoleon Hill, right? Just think about it. It's a summary of 25,000 men and women who had experienced failure disclosed the fact that the lack of decision was near the head of the list of 30 major causes of failure. So if you remember, in the analysis, in the research that Napoleon Hill did, this is the summary. So you got to always go back and see, where's this information coming from? And this is the summary. This is no mere statement of a theory. It is a fact. So lack of decision was near the head of the list of the 30 major causes of failure. Lack of decision. So let's not do that for ourselves. Let's not do that for our businesses. Let's not do that for our families. Let's be different, right? Let's make this decision thing an amazing thing for you. Let's get you to start deciding really cool stuff fast. Okay, so that's just on page 199, right? Just the first paragraph. Accurate analysis of over 25,000 men and women who had experienced failure disclosed the fact that lack of decision was near the head of the list of the 30 major causes of failure. This is no mere statement or a theory. It is a fact. It is a fact. Now, we all remember the 30 major causes of failure, right? That was in the organized planning chapter. And we spent quite a bit of time on it. But let's see if it is stated like that in there. So the number one, unfavorable hereditary background. Number two was lack of a well-defined purpose in life. Number three was lack of ambition. Number four was insufficient education. Number five was lack of self-discipline. Number six was ill health. Number seven, unfavorable environmental influences. Number eight, procrastination. This is where decision starts to come in. Lack of persistence was number nine. Negative personality. Lack of controlled sexual urge. Uncontrolled desire. Lack of well-defined power of decision. One or more of the six basic fears, the fears of death, fears of hunger, fear of being left alone, fear left in the dark, wrong selection of mate in marriage, and so on. This is just 15, right? And it goes on and on all the way to 30. So what are we talking about? We're talking about decision. We're talking about going away from procrastination. And you heard my story that last time when I shared with you, when one of my mentors about procrastination, he said there's no such thing. When you have a desire, when you have ambition, when you have a goal you're working on, there's no procrastination. You don't procrastinate on your coffee. You go and you get it. So why are you procrastinating on your goal? That's the key. Procrastination, the opposite of decision, is a common enemy which practically every man must conquer. Every man must conquer. Well, welcome everybody. I see new people in the room. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Kamal. I am a student and teacher of the law of attraction and thinking into results. I'm studying with Bob Proctor this material and I'm sharing it here with you. Thank you for being amazing and being here. If you like what you hear, if you like what you're seeing and hearing, I urge you to come to my group, check out the website, check out the landing page there, check out the link, and you are welcome to become a part of this amazing club. We are growing a beautiful community like yourselves, professionals from all different backgrounds that can grow together, learn together, and do things bigger than anywhere else on earth. So you will have an opportunity to test your capacity to reach quick and definite decisions when you finish reading this book. And it should have started already. It should have started already. If you remember a few days ago, we talked about making notes of how you're making decisions, making notes of what have you decided on quick. See, once you start making these notes and writing things down, you're gonna feel, you're gonna realize, wow, I can do this. And then you get used to it. It's like it's a habit. You're like, yep, I don't want it. Yep, I don't want it. Or instead of being in limbo, go, don't go, buy, don't buy, leave them, stay with them, move up, move down, go inside, go outside. Have you ever been in a restaurant? Let's give you another example. Isn't it annoying? And I think Elliot probably can relate to this. You're sitting in the restaurant, you're about to order food, and everybody's ready except one individual. They're just not ready. Like the menu has like 17,000 choices on it, and they just can't pick up. They can't pick what they want. It's just food, and they're hungry, and they're sitting there, and everybody's waiting. You got to make a decision. It is that simple as that. If you are undecisive in everything, there is something going on in your mind. Your mind is being busy. You're using that machine that you got unnecessarily. You're making yourself go places you're not supposed to. You're creating turmoil in the brain. Just decide. What do you feel like eating? You look at the menu. It should be very quick. It doesn't matter if you know the menu or you don't. But you got to make a habit. Some people are in the habit of, oh, what do you think? Let me get your opinion. Let's ask the neighbor. Well, you know what? Let me ask the bus driver. Maybe the bus driver knows which place I should go visit. No, let me ask the barber which stock I should buy. Sometimes that works, sometimes they know, but you know what I mean. Opinions. You gotta stop the opinions. So on this first page, he talks about Napoleon Hill, analysis of several hundred people who had accumulated fortunes well beyond the $1 million mark, disclosed the fact that every one of them had the habit of reaching decisions promptly and changing these decisions slowly if and when they were changed. People who fail to accumulate money, without exception, have the habit of reaching decisions, if at all, very slow, and of changing these decisions quickly and often. Now you see here he talks about $1 million. Well, I would like you all to put another zero beside it because this $1 million was back in 1900. What is your number? How much do you want? You see, it used to be 1 million enough. 500,000 used to be enough to retire, at least in North America and Europe. Maybe in a third world country, in Middle East, maybe you need $300,000-400,000. You put it in the bank, you get some interest. But nowadays, there is 1 million is not enough. So I put a zero beside it. I put 10 million. Then on page 200, we are in Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, on page 200 in the classic book edition, right? We're on page 200. That's when he starts talking about Henry Ford. And Henry Ford's astounding quality is his habit of reaching decisions quickly and definitely and changing them slowly. You remember the story of Henry Ford. It was incredible. It was at a time when nobody had anything great going on in the automotive industry. And he decided to build the Ford Model T. Everybody told him it's an ugly car. We can't sell this. He said, build it. Now he's the boss. He's in charge. He said, build it. And you go to your boss and you tell him, hey man, this is not going to work. Nobody's going to buy this. Build it. There was another one about him. He wanted to build this 8-cylinder block engine in one block, right? It's like one big block. It never been done before, out of one piece. The engineers kept coming saying, "Hey boss, this is not gonna work. Go try again." They come back, go try again. What were they going to do? They were worried about their jobs. They were like, well, what can we tell them? Like, no, go build it, go try again. Failure was not an option. He made up his mind that he wants it. It wasn't just him he wants it. He wanted, but he asked infinite intelligence about it. He was asking everybody about it. He wanted it to happen. He made and demanded from his engineers and technicians to make it happen. He demanded them Model T, the ugliest car, the world's ugliest car, to be manufactured, and sold thousands of them. Thousands. Now, I was fortunate to be in Dearborn for 4 years, Michigan, Dearborn, Michigan, where this Model T was developed. And I've seen the complex. Incredible. I've seen the tracks. I've seen the Henry Ford Museum where they show you this Model T. It is an ugly thing. But you got to think of the genius. You got to think of the idea, of the determination. That's what made him who he is. They are now running the fourth generation Ford, right? Fourth generation Ford Motor Company. That's what I'm talking about. How fast do you make decisions? So I want you to take inventory of yourself right now. Do you decide fast? Do you decide quickly where to go on vacation? Do you decide quickly how much money to spend on lunch? When you go to order food, how fast do you decide? When you want to order a drink, do you want a draft? Do you want a Heineken? Do you want soda? Do you want bubble tea? How long does it take you? How are you going to start deciding fast? What decisions are you going to make today quickly so that you can start developing this habit? Because remember, I'm about habits and actions, and we're going to take this information and we're going to put it into our lives. We're going to stop waiting. We're going to stop collecting information like everybody does. Everybody's collecting information and putting in one of these books, and all these notes. What are you doing about it? How are you going to make it work? The majority of people who fail to accumulate money sufficient for their needs are generally easily influenced by the opinions of others. You have to start being wary of the opinions of others. And it starts in the morning. When you start watching TV, right in the morning when you wake up and you turn that thing on, that box, and then you hear the newscaster, the first channel, the second channel, they're all talking about the weather, talking about all the negative things that are happening, all the opinions that don't even make any sense. It's not even the business channel. How badly are you influenced by the opinions of others? How many decisions have you made because of opinions of others? And are you willing to change it? Are you willing to start doing something different? Are you willing to stop permitting this information to come to you? That's what I'm talking about. You permit newspapers and gossiping neighbors to do the thinking for them. Opinions are the cheapest commodities on earth. You know, there's difference between not expensive and cheap. So opinions are the cheapest commodities on earth. Everyone has a flock of opinions ready to be wished upon anyone who will accept them. That's what I'm talking about. Now, you don't have to accept them. If you are influenced by decisions, you will not succeed in any undertakings, much less in that of transmuting your own desire into money. If you are influenced by the opinions of others, you will have no desire of your own. Imagine that. Imagine you go through your life being influenced by everybody else's opinion. You don't even know it is going to your subconscious mind. You're just so used to just taking it all in. What if you can learn how to stop that information from going in? Because when you were a baby, as you were growing up, all this information came to you. You had no choice. You had no choice. Your parents taught you everything, the language, the food, the habits, the noises. It all came right into your subconscious mind, and it became you. You are running habitually right now. But now you're an adult. What if we can stop all this and these ideas that are coming to you, these noises, these voices, what if you can just stop? What if somebody can be talking to you and you can actually almost pause that information, don't and reject it? Do you ever have that has ever happened to you where you talk to somebody about something And it's as if they have not heard you. Now, you might think they were not listening, and perhaps they were not. I'm guilty of that sometimes, not as bad as before. And you would think they're not listening, but in reality, they totally rejected what you just said. That's a fundamental piece in sales. If you're in salesmanship, if you're in the front line of selling at a furniture store, at a real estate place, you're somewhere you're selling ideas, and people are going to tell you things, you have a choice to reject the idea. Because if you take their idea, if you take that statement and internalize it, your body is not going to verbalize, your body is not going to vibrate to do the action. That's what I'm talking about. You have the power to stop this information from going right at the conscious level. You just, no, reject. You reject that idea. It's like when you hear the news and they tell you the economy is a disaster. What does that mean to you? How do you feel when you hear that? Do you accept it? Do you take it? Do you start slowing down? Do you stop working? Or do you say reject, cancel that, reject, cancel that? Brian Tracy was the one who taught me that. Reject, cancel that, cancel, cancel. You got to learn to do these things. You got to learn to go to be the master of your own mind. You have to get control. We want to get control back. How do you do that? How do you build this habit? Do you just have to study here with me? Do you have to study Thinking into Results? Do you have to study Think and Grow Rich book? Do you have to be in a community like this? You might be wondering, how long does it take? It doesn't take long. It does not take long very much. You have to make a decision, which is, we are on a decision chapter. Is today your day to make a decision to be great? Is today the day that you're going to make a decision that you will become the master of your own mind? That you're going to move yourself to another level by making decisions better, faster, quicker, even if it means you're going to trip, even if it means it's a mistake, even if it means it's a bit risky. Life is a risk. Everything. Every time you go for a run outside is a risk. Every time you drive on the highway is a risk. If you are influenced by the opinions of others, you will have no desire of your own. That is so amazing. That's so powerful. How many of you are influenced by the opinions of your parents, opinions of your neighbors, friends? And don't get me wrong, you gotta listen to your parents. They know a thing or two. But you have to live your own life. You have to make up your own decision. You're the adult now. Keep your own counsel. When you begin to put into practice the principles described here by reaching your own decisions and following them, take no one into your confidence except the members of your mastermind group. So we learned that with Bob Proctor. We learned that from many other, Harrison Klein. We learned that from the greats, that you have to start having your own counsel. You have to have your own decision making. You have to trust yourself. The fact that you don't trust yourself to make decisions is a problem by itself, and we have to stop that. You need to trust yourself. You have everything within you. You are amazing, great. You are spirit, God's highest form creation. You are incredible. You are able. And I want you to start trusting yourself more. In the beginning, you're going to have to borrow the belief from somebody that you actually have it. You have what it takes. The second part to that is a coach, is a mentor. Second part to that is a mastermind, a group where you can come in and confide with on this information, on this real estate venture, on this stock venture, on this coffee shop that you want to open, a mastermind group. A group that comes in together to give. Somebody has to create it. Somebody has to put it together and pull this team together. And you'll be part of it. That's who you get your information from. That's how millions are made. Nobody does them by themselves. Very rare. Be sure in your selection of this group that you choose only those who will be in complete sympathy and harmony with your purpose. It's exactly what I'm doing, exactly what we're talking about. From this group, from those who join, from those who become part of the book club, from those who become part of my client group, we're going to create several masterminds. Not going to be just one, it's going to be several. And we're going to have different ventures. It's going to be amazing. So that's what I'm talking about. So I'd like you to just take a quick second here and think. Think. How fast do you make decisions? Last decision you made that affected your income, affected your which car you drive, affected where you live. Did you do it, or did somebody else do it for you? Because that's how you have to get that feel. You want to start developing this habit of uh, inventorying yourself. Who's making decisions for you? On page 201, halfway through, it says, close friends and relatives, while not meaning to do so, often handicap one through opinions and sometimes through ridicule, which is meant to be humorous. How many times, I speak for myself, your relatives would laugh at you at what you're doing. They would laugh at you at the network marketing company you joined. They would laugh at you at the book that you bought. They would laugh at you at the show that you went to, at the conference that you went to. Well, you need to stop listening to them. You need to make your distance away. You got to vibrate differently. You are moving in a different frequency and vibration, and they're at another one. They're happily going to work for $8 an hour. You know, you can get $10 an hour at McDonald's. You can just say good morning to everybody, and you get 10 or 11 or 12. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you want more. So you have to stop this opinion stuff from relatives. And if they bug you, if they're giving you grief, that's okay. Still love them. Don't hate them. Just see them a little bit, not a lot. Don't spend too much time with them. You naturally, as you start studying this material with me, Think and Grow Rich, Thinking into Results, you're going to move to a whole other dimension, a whole other level of awareness. And you're going to find yourself getting new people into your life, new friendships, new relationships, new business partners. And you're going to go away from the ones who are not serving you. That's what I'm talking about. That's just the way it works. The fact that you're moving to this new goal, new level of thinking, your mind operates on a frequency and a vibration. You are now not resonating anymore with some of your friends or some of your colleagues. Even it could be with the job that you're in. He keeps going on page 201. Thousands of men and women carry inferiority complexes with them all through life because some well-meaning but ignorant person destroyed their confidence through opinions or ridicule. How sad is that? How many times you've heard the story that people have limiting beliefs because of their parents? People heard things from their teachers back in middle school and high school. You're going to be an engineer? You're going to be a pilot? Forget it. How many times? How badly is that? When you take that information and it goes to your subconscious mind, it affects you for life. And you're going to have to take inventory of this and step away from it and change. How many times teachers have messed up kids because they told them you cannot be a writer just because they did a mistake or two or three on their English essay? So what? Just a mistake. You have a brain and a mind of your own. Remember that. You have a brain and a mind of your own. Use it and reach your own decisions. If you need facts or opinion from other people to enable you to reach decisions, as you probably will in many instances, acquire these facts or secure the information you need quietly without disclosing your purpose. That's the thing. You have to start reaching within you. You have all the answers. Just think with me for a second. Go with your imagination here with me for a second. Your mind, your marvelous mind, your marvelous subconscious mind is connected to the infinite. And if you learn to reach to within you and you trust it, it's going to speak to you. You're going to get that feeling. You're going to get that intention. You're going to know when it's right. The answers will come to you. All the answers are here already. So you learn to trust yourself a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. You learn to trust yourself. And it has to start with small things. It could be as small as making up your mind quickly buying dinner. Making up quickly where you're going to go for a walk. Making up quickly if you're going to the gym or not. You should go to the gym. Say yes to that one. It is characteristic of people who have but a smattering or a veneer knowledge to try to give the impression that they have much knowledge. Such people generally do too much talking and too little listening. Keep your eyes and ears wide open and your mouth closed if you wish to acquire the habit of prompt decision. Those who talk too much do little less. Sometimes you have to pay attention to those who are with you in meetings. I have a couple colleagues, they don't talk much. They just don't. One of the things that I do in the manufacturing business as a general manager, my colleagues are from the Orient. They generally don't talk too much. But this guy is incredible. He's a genius. Very smart technically, very smart mechanically, very smart in computers. He does amazing stuff. So you want to acquire this habit of prompt decision. If you talk more than you listen, you not only deprive yourself of many opportunities to accumulate useful knowledge. So this individual is always absorbing. He said, I'm always thinking, I'm always writing things down, I'm always learning. But you disclose your plans and purpose to people who will take great delight in defeating you because they envy you. See, that's a big one, right? Some of your old teachers, the ones that you left long time ago, some of the other friends that you're not with anymore, some of the other neighbors that you have, they envy you. And that's why sometimes when you come up with these ideas that you want to try, that you want to move, they are like, what are you talking about? It's crazy. I did this. I heard this on the news. I heard it was a scam. And don't get me wrong, there are scams out there. There are network marketing companies that are bad. But there are a lot of good ones. There are businesses that you can make up your mind to go into and they're going to be bad. But there are so many good ones. What are you going to do? Stop doing? Genuine wisdom is usually conspicuous through modesty and silence. That's a beautiful sentence. Let one of your first decisions be to keep a closed mouth and open ears and eyes. Tell the world what you intend to do, but first show it. Isn't that incredible? And maybe some of you who are more religious than myself, I'm religious, so I'm Christian, and it doesn't matter. But there's a verse in the Bible that says, even when you're fasting, don't tell the world, don't tell everybody, oh, poor me, I'm not eating and drinking for 7, 8 hours. Oh, look at my face. Look at me. Poor me. No, I think in the Bible it says just do it and don't tell anybody. Just do it. Do it because you want to. It's between you and God. It's between you and the Spirit. Tell the world what you intend to do, but first show it. You know that verse? Aminata, I think you were flashing. You're in the matrix. We can't hear you. Try to reconnect. Yeah, oh, now it's better. Yeah, go ahead now.
Okay, so I just wanted to, it was my way to say that I completely agree with you. Like everything you're saying since the beginning resonates a lot with me. And I want to give you an advice to all of you guys. I know I'm not a millionaire and I'm not Beyonce. I'm saying that because 2 days ago, someone sent me a message asking me if I thought I was Beyonce. It was his way to tell me that I wasn't anybody. I laughed at him, like internally and externally, and it's okay. I know I'm not Beyonce. I don't want to be Beyonce either. But the thing that I want to advise you is to get rid of any person which intends to crush your dream, like to make you, and it can be in a very vicious way. Like if you feel like someone, no matter who the person is trying to put like negative thoughts into your mind, like to make you stop, like get rid of that person. Like seriously, I give you this advice as I will give, but because I gave myself this advice that I'm following, and I think it's a precious one. So I just want to say to give you the same, guys, and to encourage you to keep on dreaming, like to take actions daily towards what you really want, towards your dream, and give yourself the permission to do it. Like become aware of the fact that you deserve it, and do everything you can, which is in your power to make it true, to make it come true. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful advice. Thank you so much. And absolutely. See, the more you start trusting yourself, the more powerful you're going to become. And there's going to be people coming at you from all different ways, all different angles, all different, you won't even imagine. Part of it is jealousy. Part of it is envy. Part of it is just to trick you. Part of it is just to steal your money. Part of it is just to throw you off. Part of it is maybe it could be your paradigm. Your old paradigm is taking you back somewhere where you're not supposed to go anymore. It's beautiful. Tell the world what you intend to do, but first show it. This is equivalent of saying that deeds and not words are what will count most. We're talking about habits. We're talking about reading. We're talking about decision. We're talking about growth. We're talking about muscle memory. See, one of the things that I want to mention before we get to the next section, I want to give a chance to Lori and Elliot to speak. When you start depending on yourself on these decisions, there is one thing so important that you're going to develop. And you will develop this habit with me if you stick around, if you decide to study thinking into results with me, if you decide to study thinking and growth with me. I'm going to give you control back. You're going to start having complete control, 100% responsibility for your actions. See, when you start asking for that and you actually say, yes, I want total responsibility. Up to now, you might not be taking full responsibility. Even though you might be an adult, you're still denying it. You're denying the responsibility. What I'm sharing with you is that this is how you're going to step into your greatness. Start taking responsibility for everything you do. Decisions is one of them. And when you do that, that's how you're going to become more effective. That's how you're going to become amazing. Full responsibility. You got to look back and stop complaining about what's going on and what happened. Oh, this happened because my mom said this. Oh, this happened because the school I went to. Oh, this happened because the country I'm in. Oh, no, forget it. I'm not saying none of you had issues, none of you had bad situations. It's all good. There is nothing we can do about that. That's in the past. I cannot help you yesterday. I can help you today. Once you start taking full responsibility of what's going on, you say, I am in control. I am in charge. My income, my life, my position, the people I meet, you are responsible for everything. You take that responsibility. You're stepping into your greatness. And that's when the goodness is going to start coming. You do have to step up. You got to step up your game. You got to show up. You got to be a lot more than the individual that shows up to work and expecting $8 an hour or $5 an hour. And there's nothing wrong with those people. Trust me, I love them all equally. We need people to work in McDonald's. We need people to work in restaurants. We need people to work in different manufacturing jobs at that low cost anyways. Somebody has to do it. But you have chosen something different. You have chosen to move into a bracket of 3-4% of the people that make the most amount of income and success and wealth and health, so you can help others, so you can become something else. That's all what it is. That doesn't make you a better person. It just makes you a different person. We're not better. We're all the same. Responsibility. So let's pause here for a second before we continue into the page 203. We've got Elliot on stage. We've got the Lori, amazing real estate agent, and Elliot, who does amazing stuff. One day he will tell us everything he does, but along that cruise ship line that he's got in the background. So who would like to speak, Lori or Elliot? Love to hear from you this morning.
I'll go first, I guess.
Go for it.
It's interesting. On page 202, there's a line, and it is, keep a closed mouth and open ears. And it's funny because when I was growing up as a child, my father always used to say to me, there's a reason why God gave you one mouth and two ears. And so over the years, I would learn to listen more. And in some ways, it was like being an observer, because it actually forced me to listen, and I had to just take it in and just like say, okay, but yeah, I would still just move on and do my own thing. And it was just like, because I would see what people would do, and I would just be like, why? Couldn't understand it. And it dawned on me is because I didn't see things the way other people commonly did, to put it nicely. And it was just like, looking back, I was like, I just never thought the way they did. You know, I thought outside the box. And this kind of makes me think of just that. You know, you could do what you have been doing, but you'll continue to get similar results. Or think differently to move forward and get out of the realm that you are presently in. That's my 2 cents.
I love that, Elliot. Thank you so much. I love it, and I love the share, and I like that last line. See, if you want to become something else than where you are right now, if you want different results, you have to start thinking differently. That's what we call the course, the coaching, thinking into results. That's why the book is called Think and Grow Rich. We have to think differently. To stay in the same way that you are right now, your results are not going to double. They're not going to triple. They're not going to go 10 times. Your business is not going to grow. You're going to stay the same. So you have to go totally different. And if you really want that abundance, that greatness that we're talking about, it's not by hard work. 95% mindset, 10% strategy. It's not about hard work. Look at all the hard workers. Look at all the miners. Look at all the people who retire. I think I told you the story the other day. How sad it is. It's a good friend of mine. He's in a motorcycle club. 30 years, God bless him. 30 years as a social worker. He retired October 26. 30 years in the same position as a social worker with the government, helping veterans, helping people off the street. He needs to get a job at Walmart or Kroger or somewhere bagging bags to pay his bills. How sad is that? I'm sad for him. So what we're doing here, we want you to start thinking differently so that you can have something better for you. Something a whole lot better for you and your family and your kids. We want you to start stepping into your greatness. But how are you going to do it? You got to think differently. I love that, Ali. You got to think differently. And a lot of you are going to be reaching back. A lot of you are going to be reaching back to try to figure out and analyze what has happened before that got you here. And that's all fine. We need to understand it. But I would say, don't spend too much time there. We cannot fix the past. Let's fix the future. Let's get you now deciding to be great. Let's get you to come along and start digging deep. Get serious about this stuff. This material has the power to change your life. If you choose to do so, you're going to have to decide. You have to make that decision that you want a better life. You have to make a decision that your habits are not serving you and you want to build new habits. And you have to believe in something that you've never believed before in. Who would have thought that this book, 120-year-old, can change so many people's lives? Bob has been reading it for 61 years, every day. Who would have thought, right? How would you think like that? Did you even know that your subconscious mind is controlling all your actions, all your power, all your money? What if we can help you change all that? What if we can help you start developing a beautiful decision maker leadership style? You can have it. You're the same, just like I, just like Bob, just like Laura Langmeyer, just like Forbes Riley. You can be anything you want to be. You have everything it takes in your mind. You just need that nudge. You just need that mentorship, that coaching, that extra push for a period of time, and then you're gonna whoosh, take off. We're not talking about small results. We're talking about boom, moving to that next level. That's what I want for every one of you, to decide that there's a lot more there for you, because it is available. Abundance is your birthright. Abundance is your birthright. Everything is already here. Lori, thanks for being amazing, and thanks for being with us this morning. What do you have to share about the matter? Love to hear your voice.
Hi, Well, thank you. Hi, Elliot. Hello, Amanita. And hello, everybody in the audience. I am outside today, but just enjoying this beautiful morning. It's a little crisp autumn day, and the birds are chirping, and just so much to be thankful for. I mean, look at this universe that God created. I'm just looking around and thinking to myself how much more he put his, for me, I'm a Christian too, he put his spirit inside of us. And for me, that means as far as sharing your, or asking people's opinions, that resonates with me because, obviously we're not going to stay in the past, but, in the past, I used to solicit, I would say for the last couple of years, and somehow over the last couple of years, starting in August, I stopped doing that, August of this year. And for 2 years, I just felt very insecure. So I would just ask people things. And I felt like I lost myself for a little while, right? Because you're trying to glean information from people that can't help you. And then all of a sudden, I start listening to Kamal's Think and Grow Rich. I start getting plugged into things I can do to change my mindset. And things are starting to change for the better for me. This also reminds me, you talked about, everybody loves to talk about their past and try to link it up to their now and their future. So linking it up to what is now does not serve you. Even if it was good, you want to make it better, right? So you don't go where you've already been. Go to a place that you've never been, right? I really, really love that, making the decisions. So I liken this to people that want to hold on to things, even if it was a minute ago that you had a bad moment. Pretend that you're standing at an airport, for an example, at the bottom of the escalator, and you've got one big heavy bag on one shoulder and another big heavy bag on another shoulder. So what happens to your body? You're all slumped over, and that's how you're showing up when you go out into the public. You're showing up slumped over because you've got all that baggage that you're holding on to. So this is as easy as it gets. Now pretend that you take those bags off and you put them onto the ground next to each foot. Now just walk away. Stand up straight and tall. You left it all behind. Another analogy and this is a visualization, you could do this. You could pretend that you take all of that junk of the past and all of those opinions of others and put it in a rocket ship in your mind. Send it up to the sky, never to return again. So that's what I wanted to share this morning after hearing your review of all of those beautiful things about decision. Make that decision to just let it all go. It's not serving you. It stops you. Gleaning opinions from others. Sometimes they're well-meaning. Don't share all of your beautiful dreams with people who are going to step all over them. Share them with people like us because we get it. Thank you, Kamal.
Good morning again. Thank you, Lori. What a beautiful share. What a beautiful example how you can just drop all that extra weight and move and let it all go. I mean, this is beautiful. I love it. Thank you, Lori, so much. I'm probably use that in the future. That's just beautiful share. And I can tell. I mean, I met Lori, less than 2 months ago, and I can see the growth already in what she's doing, what she's studying, and how she's developing and growing in her business and in her coaching, and how she mentors others as well in real estate. And that's what I want for every one of you, is to kind of step into that greatness and let all that dead weight go. Let it go. Because you can. Because you can. I just love it. Beautiful share. Thank you so much for being here. And I always want to say congratulations to every one of you who's been on this journey with this book with me for the last few weeks, and who you're going to continue as well. And some of you are thinking into results. And that's what I want for every one of you, is to say, you know what? This is the year that's going to make the difference. This is the time when I'm going to step into my greatness. I'm going to just make a decision to be that individual, to actually grow. See, I think most of you have heard the story. I was already making 6 figures. But I came at a time when I wanted to help some people back home. And I couldn't. I couldn't put the $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month to give away. There was not enough, even though I'm making 6 figures. And that's when it clicked. I started asking, I gotta make more. So then the company that I was working for would not give me more. I asked. I'm not shy. I'll ask for more money. I'm not gonna get it. You're not gonna get more than 150 grand in a position, even if you're a manager in a company. You're just not gonna get it until you become the VP, until you become like the CEO. You're not gonna get it in a company. And that's when I got a mentor. That's when I got Bob Proctor into my life. Well, there was a period before that where I jumped to a GM position that almost doubled it. But now, with having a coach, having a mentor, the view is just like, boom. You have to dream big. You have to have a goal. You have to have a desire to start making these decisions. And if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a goal to making your annual in a month, if you don't have a goal to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, I don't know, what do you do when you wake up? There's so many people we need to help, and to help them, we need to make that income, because some people are just not capable. We gotta help them. So decide what you want, and that's gonna help you. And again, it makes a decision. I want you to have the brevity to decide to actually say you want to make that kind of income. You want to be that kind of teacher. You want to be that kind of entrepreneur. You got to have that courage inside of you. How do you build that? Study. You got to study. And it's weird, and it's illogical, and it doesn't make sense. And I'm not meaning study to get another degree or another certificate. You will get a certificate actually in 6 months if you study Thinking into Results with me. You'll get a plaque with your name on it. I sign it, and it's all that good. But that's not the idea. The idea is getting your mind where you want it to be. Because if we go back to that thought, right? Think and grow rich. We want to give you that control. So when you study, you start gaining that control back. You start becoming aware, like what I said in the beginning. When you start hearing people after you study for a while and you build that habit, you can become more aware of what's going on around you. You will start seeing the opportunities around you. You will start noticing who's serving you and who's not. And I love what Aminata said and what Lori said. Let go of everything that's not serving you. And I tell you, sometimes it could be family members, and it's so hard. Don't hate them. Don't dislike them. Just let it go. Just let it go. Whatever is not serving you, you have to let it go. Make a decision to be great. Because this year, there's a month and 20 days left. You can become a whole different person in a month and 20 days. You come along this journey of Thinking into Results with me, you can become a whole different person. Just imagine you'll have Bob Proctor in your corner. You get to see him a couple of times in 6 months. You'll be with me every day. I'll be in your corner. But it's up to you. You have to make a decision. Decide to be great. Joseph, you're here. Good morning again to you, Joseph. What do you have to say?
Oh, it's beautiful. Yes, sir. Kamal. Thank you. Elliot, Manita, Lori. Oh, God. I had my eyes closed listening to the birds as you were speaking, and that your energy was just flowing. And I was like, oh, I had the biggest smile on my face. Not only for myself, but for you. Yes, thank you very much. I'll make it quick and very concise today. This is such an important chapter with decision, and we're mentioning Christianity as your belief. Well, the law of forgiveness is huge, because forgive and ye shall be forgiven. And on page 201, Kamal pointed out he repeated that chapter, close friends and relatives, while not meaning to do so, often handicapped through opinions, and it's quoted, and then sometimes through ridicule, which meant to be humorous. If you take that whole paragraph apart, you can see the moving from the higher to the lower in forgiveness. And it, like Kamal and Lori were all pointing out, it might not make sense to the person right now, or it might seem ridiculous, but that's because it is ridiculous. When we reduce it to the ridiculous, and if you pop over to the chapter 3, faith is the visualization and the belief in its attainment. And this is where it gets us right into decisions. ABCs of CBD. CBD is your inflammation. Will always be creating, or always be communicating, creating better dreams and bigger desires. So always be deciding. And this chapter with the inferiority complexes is because if you're in this program, you start to coach people, or you're talking with people and you're hearing this, does it make sense? Because it makes sense. And we're releasing that lower by letting go. And we're forgiving it. Just let it go. And you forgive that lower for a very much higher, which is where we are right now. And the law of forgiveness was huge because there's a quick little thing in there where Jesus taught bigness of character to his followers with such bigness in himself. And he was more than just a preacher. He was a teacher of supreme. Well, I think that's funny because Bob has written, and he said this so many times. We all do. We've got a license to brag about this because none of it's our material. We're sharing it and we're growing it. And once again, happy to believe that you're in the right place for the right reasons at the right time. And so are we all. Thank you so much. Whatever that dream is that you're going after, you're making decisions every single day. You decided, you made a decision that you're going to learn something new. Also understand that we've adjusted our perception, or the person, you've created a new value for yourself. And you decided to do that. And then when you make a committed decision and say, I'm not going back, that's where that paragraph comes in, the inferiority. I think Amanita was saying, well, somebody, who do you think you are? Well, I think I am who I am. I know who I am. And it's none of my business. And we get to reject that. I'm making the best of myself. And what we really want to understand is these rooms, and it's so powerful because we're wide open here on Think and Grow Rich. You're thinking into your result, whatever that is to the individual. You made a choice to come and do this. Now you're going to think and grow even richer. We're all rich, as Bob would say. You may be a little short of money right now, but you made a committed decision. We made a committed decision to collaborate, always be creating, bigger dreams, better desires, and much better disciplines. Discipline is not the enemy of enthusiasm. Disciplines are not the enemy of enthusiasm. They're sister principles, just like science and theology. Oh, they're antagonistic. No, they're not. They're sister principles. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. That was really cool. And thank you, Joseph. I love the birds. I love that the sound of the birds in the morning. And even last night, I was outside. I took a picture of the city and I shared it with somebody. And now they're not here anymore. And suddenly I look at the picture again. This was in the evening. I could see the city and I could see the moon, and just so great, right? It was just incredible. So just enjoy what you got and decide to be great. And let's do this. So we're coming close to the 8 o'clock hour. I want to thank all of you for being here. We did amazing today on this first half of the chapter. And you're deciding to come back. You're deciding to be great. And I put the link there for the book club. I urge you all to join the book club. And because on Saturday, we're going to watch a video version of this chapter with Bob Proctor, my mentor. And you're going to learn a whole lot more. If you think you got it, you don't have it all yet. So it will be, again, another review on Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern to go through this chapter again and watch the video with me and Bob. This video by itself is $3,000-$4,000. What you're going to pay for the subscription is $15. So I urge you all to do that. There's I like this app now. It's saying there's 16 here now. That's pretty cool. It gives me a number. I don't have to go outside. So join the club, and I'd love to see you there. Once you click, it's $15. If you want to pay a different route, also let me know. We can arrange that. And tomorrow we will talk about freedom or death on a decision. We'll continue a bit of the story of the United States here in this chapter, and we'll see what else comes as well. But I'd like all of you to join the club. I want all of you to be great. I want you to invest in yourself and move in that direction, because that's the sign that you're telling the world and you're telling yourself, I am worthy. Yeah, don't ask anybody. We just talked about it, right? Don't be asking your friends and the neighbor. You heard this. The truth does resonate. You know when something is good. And that's what you have to say. Yeah. So if you want to learn goal setting like a scientist, if you want to learn how to shift your paradigm and start making money, earning big, if you want to start making decisions fast, that's what I do with Bob Proctor. These are the three cornerstones of Think and Grow Rich. That's what Thinking International is about. The science of goal achievement. That's how it started. How to shift your paradigm to be with the top 1% in the world. I don't say it often. Sometimes I say 2, 3, 4%, so not to scare you, but you're going to be the top 1%. You're going to learn how to make decisions like an artist. Imagine that. And I want you to think of the lineage. Like the lineage that we have. What does the lineage mean, you know? We're talking Bob Proctor and I coaching you over the next 6 months. We're talking Earl Nightingale, who taught Bob. Earl was the father of professional development. And Napoleon Hill taught Earl. So the lineage is so quick. So amazing. This opportunity does not come often. So it's really up to you. I urge you all to sign up to the club, ask about thinking the results. Let's have a conversation. It's 8 a.m. in the morning. I want to thank you so much. Have an amazing day. Make it count. It's Thursday. And abundance is your birthright. Make a decision to be great. Love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Oh, no, have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kamal.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.